I've always wanted to make a paracord whip. Why? Well, being born in the 80s and growing up in the 90s, some of my coolest heroes were whipmasters, like Indiana Jones and Zorro. I really loved those movies. And The Mask of Zorro especially, as the soundtrack literally gave me goosebumps, and still to this day. So in order to have some cool whip skills, I'm going to need a whip. And I've got paracord. You can definitely make a paracord whip as shown by these other YouTube channels, and hopefully I don't turn out like this guy. Most importantly, can I succeed in making a paracord whip that will actually crack? There's a reason why I really loved The Mask of Zorro as a child back in the 90s. I didn't really know why until I began to think about it as an adult. Almost all stories rely on what's known as the hero's journey, and it all starts with that call to adventure. Much like how I was drawn to create this paracord whip, Alejandro Murrieta, played by Antonio Banderas, was drawn to adventure. But his reason was a bit more serious: to avenge the death of his brother, who was murdered by the evil Captain Love. Now, while I have a brother, I am of course thankful I'm not creating a whip for that reason. So, the challenge. I've always found the herringbone knot that is on the end of a paracord whip nigh impossible to learn. No matter how many times I've tried, I just can't wrap my head around it. I wasn't ready. Much like how Alejandro was a vengeful, out-of-shape drunk that was full of despair. He wanted revenge, but he wasn't ready. He needed a teacher and guidance. Thankfully, I'm none of those things, but sometimes in the mornings before I have my coffee, I might feel a little drunk. Anyhow, he found Don Diego de la Vega, aka Zorro, the original one, who he worshipped as his hero as a child. Now for me, I have YouTube, and I found a teacher via Garrett over at Thunderclap Whips, so thank you Garrett for all that follows in this video. You see, I realized I don't need the herringbone knot when I have the monkey's fist, which is what I'm using for this whip. And when I realized this, I had a sudden sense of purpose, just as Alejandro did when he started his training with Don Diego, to become fit, learn how to fight, and most importantly, learn some charm. So having these basic skills aren't very different from what I've been training for in my own personal life. And I think that any man or person who has strong core values and skills will succeed in life. Just like the core of this whip. I'm just working the slack out of the monkey's fist from the short end out to the long end. If you need some tips on this process, I've got a whole video talking about that and I'll have it linked. These are steel BBs, the kind that you can use with air guns, and I'm not sure if you absolutely have to do this part, but from all the tutorials that I've seen, most if not all whip makers fill the core of the whip with the BBs, and I'm sure the added weight helps with the whip's cracking ability. The steel BBs are loaded into the gutted paracord for some added weight and rigidity, while still remaining flexible. Yet another great philosophy in life. Be strong, but remain flexible. And over that core, we need some added layers, so we plate, adding thickness to the whip, which will also create its tapered shape. Kind of like how you'd add skills to your core being. Alejandro became fit by doing parkour over rope obstacles in Don Diego's training cave. He also did push-ups over a bunch of candles. I'll never forget that scene. I'm working with my next set of gutted cords, and this plate pattern is super simple. Cross the strands over the front, and the pattern is to wrap it around the back, then under one and over one. Next cord will always be the highest cord on the opposite side. Under one, over one. Under one, over one. We plate for about 4 inches or about 10 centimeters. So we've plated our first layer, and we're going to continue to build up that base and core with some sinew. Kinda ironic, right? Well, this is artificial sinew. Much like the same sinew that our muscles are made up of, this is a synthetic version of that. Also, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. And pay attention to this point here. I'm going to clip the 4 strands at varying lengths so that it'll form a taper. This stuff is really waxy and tacky, so just be wary of that. I'm going to use that to secure the first section of plating with the sinew. Once I've done that wrapping and having secured everything with a couple of passes of sinew, I'm just going to lock the sinew down with a few half hitches. The tackiness will allow it to stick to itself. I've been going to the gym every day since January, with only a handful of missed days, and I can honestly say I've never felt better. Now, not every workout has to be insane or amazing, but I've just found that with enough consistency, and mainly if you just keep showing up, you'll get results. So the idea for making this video has actually been in my head for months, and I've only gotten around to it now. So basically, I just kept showing up to this idea in my mind more or less. So we've got our strong core set up, and now we're going to plate some more. From here, I'm again going to plate. This time with 4 strands, or rather 8 as I double them up. After the initial setup, the pattern is now under 2, over 2. Alternate cords left and right and plate down over the sinew wrap section. So after Alejandro became fit and able to fight, what he finally needed to take up the mantle was charm. He learned to become a gentleman, proper etiquette, and how to talk to ultimately become the new Zorro. Now this next layer of plating, by the way, might seem a bit confusing, but it's not. Just remember to alternate sides, and the pattern is under 2, over 2. Under 2, over 2. You know, I don't talk much about personal stuff on this channel, but I will say that earlier this year I got out of a long-term relationship, and it was quite difficult to say the least. And since then I've been doing my best to rebuild myself, just as Alejandro did. Been working on physical fitness, developing a strong mind, and mainly taking this channel further. You know, I really hope to evolve these videos and this channel just as I evolve myself. Oh, and key point here, once I've done the 8-strand plate over the BB loaded section, we're going to drop the second cord on the left and the third on the right into the core, and now start a 6-strand plate over all 3 cords. This process continues from 8 strands to 6. Then I'm going to plate under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1. 2 more inches before cutting the drop strands. After you cut the drop strands, we're just going to continue plating over them for a total section of 5 inches for this 6-strand plate. And at this point, we're going to drop 2 more strands into the core, the orange in this case, and go from 6 strands down to 4. Finally, from 6, I go down to 4 strands, just like the first layer. Repeat like before and plate a few inches and then snip off the drop strands. Plate about 2 inches and then cut off the dropped orange strands, then proceed to plate 3 more inches for a total of 5. All of this plating is coming to a focal point. Much like how the new Zorro had to focus all his efforts into what he was doing to eventually confronting his brother's killer. Focused all of my time and energy into learning how to get to where we are now and where I am now. Hope I'm not getting too serious though. Anyhow, we're now ready for the whip fall. Just as a hero's journey involves a fall and rebirth, this is the part of the whip that further narrows to the very end. A simple process we can create with another gutted piece of paracord and the second smallest lacing needle. Just splice one end through the middle so that it comes out the other, and we have a closed loop on one end. Now making this whip fall was a little tricky, as getting the lacing needle through the gutted cord wasn't super easy. It just took a bit of pushing on the lacing needle and then working the sheath of the paracord over it. Eventually it'll snake its way through and come out the other end. After that, I'm going to attach the fall to the rest of the whip. The loop of the fall is then placed over the plating strands and just above the end point, and I'm going to secure the fall with the plating strands. And at this point in our hero's journey, Zorro has become the man he has worked to be, taking on the evil Captain Love and at the same time completing his journey to becoming the new Zorro. Now I've left a lot out, as of course I didn't want to retell the entire movie, but if you haven't seen The Mask of Zorro, I'd still highly recommend it. It's held up really well over the years. It's a swashbuckling adventure with some humor, action, and a great story. Note that the last strand on this needle passes up and under the previous hitched strands, except for itself, and it also goes under the whip fall loop. When that's done, just work all of the slack out of the hitch knots and firm up the entire section. Then I'm going to trim the ends of the excess plated strands and the tail end of the core strand so that they're all even. Just leave a little bit of excess and melt the ends to seal them. So now, where does that leave us with our journey in creating this whip? Well, I'm almost there. This last part involves creating the whip cracker or popper. Now I'm using a strand of the inner guts about 6 feet. I double it once, then I double it twice, and then I'm going to twist it with my hemostats. And after it's really twisted up, I fold it in half again using my teeth, and then I let it go. And it'll automatically twist up on itself. Get any tangles out with a lacing needle, and then on the end that has the loose ends, I just tie an overhand knot. The twisted section of the whip cracker should be about 6 inches long, and the tassel end after the overhand knot should be about 2. And trim the end and we have our whip cracker. And finally, I just attach the whip cracker to the end of my whip fall. And by the way, if you want to get your own official Zorro or Indiana Jones whip, you can get one directly from David Morgan, the original maker of the very same whips that were used in the films. But they're not cheap, unfortunately, and understandably so. And our whip is done. Now the question is, have I overcome this monumental challenge I've had in the past of making a paracord whip? Can I actually break the sound barrier with paracord? Did you know that, by the way? The sound of a whip cracking is actually the sound of the sound barrier being broken. In fact, it's quite possible that the whip was the very first man-made device that broke this sound barrier. And here we go. So far, I've only been able to do the basic cattleman's crack with this whip, but it actually works. I've tried the reverse cattleman's crack, but I can't get it to pop quite as well. And because I don't really want to blind myself, I've yet to try the overhead crack properly, which if you're doing for the first time, perhaps wear some eye and face protection. So honestly, I think I sat on this idea for such a long time as I wasn't really sure if I'd be able to pull it off without learning that complicated herringbone knot. But as you can see, where there's a will to figure out an alternative, there's a way. So with all that being done, what would you like to see next? Should I make a full bull-sized whip? Comment down below.